Good morning. So we got a great email request question from a previous video we'd done. We're talking about low dopamine levels in the process of addiction, and we had this lady say, "So what? I'm just supposed to be happy with lower dopamine levels when we stop using?" She went on and said, "So what? I've got a brain that likes dopamine, but it's my responsibility to be happy without it? What?" So I love these kind of questions because it means that she's really grasping some of the nuances of it, and I'm happy to answer that question. So there's sort of two issues. The first is that what we believe causes addiction is a slight abnormality in the dopamine system, and it's the easiest way to think of it is that you're born with a very, very slight dopamine deficiency, that when you get the dopamine spike from cocaine or from heroin or fentanyl or alcohol, it does something different to your brain where you go, wow, that's what I was missing. I love that feeling. And then it sends messages to your brain that says, I'm going to keep doing this even if there's negative consequences. And that's really the hallmark of addiction, is liking that feeling so much and then keep using it because even though there's negative consequences. So that's one piece. The second piece is that once you start stimulating that system with drugs or alcohol, you release a lot of dopamine, but then it's gone. And so then you're left depleted and you have almost no dopamine left for a short time until the brain heals. Someone the other day said it's a little bit like if there was no speed limits and maybe you're on the Autobahn in Germany and you were used to driving at 90 miles an hour and that was normal, that you loved that. And then all of a sudden the speed limit went to 55 and you could only go 55. That would feel pretty darn boring. But it's sort of like that. But the truth is that when you've been stimulating the dopamine system and you're used to that, and then you have normal amounts of dopamine and you're depleted, then your brain gets used to that over a period of time. A lot of healing happens in the first month. But over periods of time, you start realizing that actually your dopamine levels go back to normal. And you're very happy with that because you start appreciating that you're getting what normal people get, good amounts of dopamine in appropriate situations like being with other friends and doing fun activities and being, having fun things to do. And that all becomes normal, and then you see the benefits of that without all the side effects of the drugs. So the brain goes back to normal. You don't have to live with low dopamine levels at all. And on the contrary, you start appreciating the things that really do make you happy rather than just give you a buzz and give you that dopamine spike. That gets us back to the vulnerability. So, we do believe that some people are born with a brain that's vulnerable to dopamine, and that stays that way for the rest of your life. So you do have to be careful not to overstimulate the system and fall back into addiction. The analogy I have for that is learning how to be happy. Let's say you're 5'10", and you really want to be 5'10.25". That's the difference between having the normal amount of dopamine and a slight deficiency. It makes no difference to the quality of your life if you're only 5'10", but you really wanted to be 5'10.25". The problem is if you try to wear platform shoes and artificially elevate you're likely to fall and trip. So you're better off to just accept I'm 5'10". That's fine. I'm totally happy with that. Hopefully that helps.